Hello everyone, welcome to Deerfield Hall. I'm Nivy, one of the co-presidents of DSC this year, and I'm joined by Chris, who is one of our technical leads, and Professor Ilir Dema. Professor Dema is our faculty supervisor, and he's been teaching CS at UTM for 7 years now, which is a long time. And if you're taking up your CS courses at UTM, you probably will have him as your professor. So today Professor Dema will be showing you around our favorite building on campus, Deerfield Hall. Although CS classes are online this semester, we hope that through this virtual tour, you can get to know your way around. Let's get started.
Hello again. Right now we are about to walk in the building, but before we walk there, if Chris, you could turn the camera and let's have a look at how would you, or what would you actually see if you were somewhere in, upstairs in the building, right? So you would probably see the small forest across and the field, and my best guess is that the name of this building actually is derived from the many deers who actually live in this area. Right now the deers are not in, unfortunately, we cannot see them. But whenever you have a chance to be on campus, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to see them. So without further ado, let's walk inside and let's basically have a look at the building from inside. Right, so that's the main building where all CS students will do most of their computer labs and some of their classes. Alright, so right now we are right inside the building, and right here is basically a great spot, which is basically the food court, a necessity for everyone. Right now it is obviously closed for obvious reasons, but we hope to see it open soon. And right across the food court we have an equally lovely place, which is our Starbucks in this building. So part of the first floor actually belongs to the theater and drama department, and during the normal times here you can see, oftentimes you can see students, theater and drama students actually playing, various theatrical pieces which take place in this floor and sometimes in the second floor. And when we get upstairs, I'm actually going to tell you quite a funny scene that I have actually witnessed myself. So here you could probably show a little bit. Right, so let's walk upstairs. Alternatively, obviously you can take the elevator, but I guess you're not going to need to do that because you're young guys, right? All young guys and girls, so for sure you can handle a little walk upstairs. Right, so here on the second floor we have our computer labs, right? I can't wait till you guys actually see the computer labs from inside. And just so you know, the computers were actually set up today for the new semester. So in various courses, for example in CSE 108 and 207 and in other courses as well, you actually going to log into these machines from remote. And once, certainly at some point when you return back to campus, this place is going to be quite familiar to all of you, and you're going to spend days and probably nights in here. So right next to the computer lab, this is the TA's room, where your lovely TAs will grade your work once we return on campus, of course. Yeah, this is the math. Yeah, so here we have the math help room, where basically the math help center hours are held, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Well, right now everything is online, but we certainly hope that the situation will improve, and when we go back to campus, again you're going to have many lovely hours in here like certainly solving math problems. And right across the hall, we have the hack lab. Right, so like if we can have a look maybe inside, since the room is open, it's taking advantage. Because I don't really have access to the room, but since it is open. Yeah, so this is our hack lab. Yeah. And during the semester, it is, like chock full with students who are passionate about doing all sorts of things using computers. Here we have a 3D printer as well. Right now it is underused, but I hope when the campus opens up, it will be used a little bit more than it is today. Right, so we might want to walk out. Yeah, so here is the study space, I guess. It has changed a little bit since the pandemic started. Before it used to be a little bit more open, but now certainly all the cubicles have been separated to accommodate more people during the pandemic. And here are the study rooms, I guess. Right, so we might want to walk across the hall and look at the classrooms on the other side. And the new robotic labs, I guess. I mean, some robotics stuff is upstairs, but I think there is something here as well. Although things have changed quite a bit right now, because the robotic labs are something new. No, I don't think they should be upstairs. They are not here. Everything robotics is upstairs, but here we have some classrooms and certainly, the hallway space. So like here again, things have been modified to accommodate, people sitting during the pandemic. And here are some of our classrooms. And here's the other side of the building where you guys can go right across in the circle road that goes around the campus. Okay, so like fun fact, there are many movies who have actually been shot in this building, and the latest one is Zombie 3. So right now we are walking into the third floor of the building where the professor's offices are, and actually the main office, the departmental office is, and the student advisor's office, and many other, like offices that will be useful to everyone whenever you are on campus. Right now, certainly everybody works online, so like all these people you can contact online, but once we are back in person, then yeah, so on this area there is one of the robotic or two of the robotics labs. Like, since we are here, we might want to kind of go around like this and then take the other side. So before this used to be the staff's kitchen, but now it is converted to a robotics lab. And at times we used to also mark exams in here, because the room is quite large. So, yeah. So this is another robotics lab. Right now it is dark. I don't think you can see much inside, but one robotics lab is actually open, so let's see if we can actually walk inside. Okay, so as we go around, we should see more robotics labs, and at the same time, we should start seeing professors' offices. So in this area, the majority of the offices, I believe, belong to the math professors. So here we have another robotics lab, and it is lit, so we can actually see. There doesn't seem to be anyone inside, so I don't think. Yeah, so here there is quite a few of math professors' offices. And in this area, we should start seeing computer science professors' offices. In particular, this is the office of the CS chair, Professor Berger-Skars, and that's the office of Florian Škurti, who is robotics professor here at UTM and the head of the robotics lab, along with Professor Kars. And right across from Professor Lisa Zhang's office, we have another lovely robotics lab.
It's good. So our lab is concerned with continuum robots, and unlike conventional robots that are mostly modeled like us humans, so conventional robots, you can actually see there in the back, have rigid links and discrete joints. So just like my arm, they have these rigid connections and these discrete joints to move. What we actually research at this lab here in our lab is continuum robots that don't have any joints or rigid links in their structure, but can bend kind of continuously along their shape. So if you kind of imagine a tangent vector along the shape, this tangent vector is smooth and continuous, as the shape doesn't make any rigid kinks or anything. And in this lab we consider many different types of these particular robots. This is one example. It's a tendon actuated continuum robot because it is controlled by tendons. So the way this actually works is, maybe if you can see this, there are tendons rooted along this flexible backbone, and these tendons, they end at different locations along this whole shape. And then if I pull specific tendons, the robot will bend into the direction where the tendon kind of terminates at this robot. One miniaturized version is here, and this is basically the same robot, but it's way smaller because these are all the motors basically that would potentially pull the tendons to move the robot. And because all of the motorization is external, the robot itself can be very small. And because it's so small and so dexterous with respect to its shape, and also very compliant, it's actually often studied in any applications that you can think of that are very hard to reach, or where you have non-linear trajectories where the robot needs to basically deploy in and then do a specific task. So this is an experimental setup we right now have. So I'm not sure if we mess anything up when we're here, but this is another type of continuum robot, and it's the same material. It's again this flexible backbone, but this time we the whole robot consists of these telescoping tubes. So you can see we have 3 tubes that are nested into each other, and each tube has a specific predefined shape. So each tube has a curvature that is predefined in the manufacturing process. And the robot actually can move by translating and rotating in this actuation right here in the back, the base of each tube. So by translating and rotating the tubes with respect to each other, they actually mechanically deform each other because they're so elastic, and then they can essentially, you can achieve very different dexterous shapes for this robot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem at
Thanks a
all.
lot.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
Have fun, so you just visiting other labs.
Professor Liud's office, which is the coordinator for CSC 108, and I believe you guys will interact with Professor Liud a lot this fall. And here is Professor Bogdan's office and Professor Zingaro's office, one of the founding fathers of the department. And here is another lovely robotics lab, I guess. Yes.
This is not actually the main lab. This is just a fabrication room of Professor Jessica Bergner-Carr's Continuum Robot Lab. So we make those cool, like, soft robots around here. And in here you can see some tools, soldering station, some electrical components, a bunch of weird drawings on the whiteboard.
Like, here is the connection to our north building, where many classes take place, since the building has many modern classrooms. I hope you guys will have the chance, to see very, very soon, hopefully when the pandemic eases off a little bit. So, like, in this wing of the building there is more CS professors' offices. And here is Professor Rosenblum's office, another member of the founding fathers of the department. He has been here forever and has played, like, a great role into actually growing this department to, the position where it is today. And here is Professor Peterson's office. Another, like, founding member of the department. And Tyler Bogdan's office, one of the best mathematics professors that we have here at UTM. And here is how professors' offices look from inside. That's my office. In these offices, we do actually hold office hours, where students just walk in and ask questions in person. Right now, I know office hours will have an online for obvious reasons, but during normal times, especially around days when assignments are due, or around the days when there is an exam or some sort of test, this place is extremely popular and teeming with students. So on this side there is the administrative wing, the administration wing. Here is the office of Camille and Yvette, who are the undergrad counselors. And also we have administrative offices, and in particular the office of the head of the department, Professor Binder. In this wing, there are the offices of the newest professors of UTM, Professor Miljanovic, Professor Vashit, and Professor Alin. And on the other side, we have the stats professors' offices. And some math professors as well. And this quiet corner is the meditation corner where people would meditate or pray at times. So I guess this is a detailed tour of the third floor. I don't think there is anything left out. So hello, everyone again. Closing this tour, we would like to basically wish everyone a successful academic year and welcome to campus whenever it opens. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our CSC 148 class. In this lecture, we're going to have we're going to learn lots of things. And to start with, we'll start with a function called the Fibonacci function, which actually generates a well-known numerical sequence known as the Fibonacci sequence. Its origins are from 12th to 14th century, where somebody actually named Fibonacci came up with an idea to describe how would a small community of rabbits would actually grow up. So if we start with a pair of rabbits in month 1, in month 2 we're going to have 3 rabbits, they're going to have a baby, and in month 2 they're going to pair up and we're going to have more rabbit babies and so on. So this situation is actually described by this numerical sequence. Sure. So here is one of our active learning classrooms where, as you can see, students can sit in small groups around these round tables, in small groups of 4 or 5 people, under normal circumstances. Now maybe you see just one chair for obvious reasons. And each table, each round table, has access to these projectors. So actually, different student groups, they can project different things on the screen, and they can actually work on problem sets or exercises, coding examples, and so on. And in the center, these monitors in the center, they are actually used by the teacher, where the teacher displays the lecture slides and plays general stuff that are the class material and so on.